Stephen Adams, you talked to him? This was the only time you talked to him this morning?
Yeah, she saw the appointment last week.
I love it when people tell me that I strip them of the due process rights that you wrote into it, since I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. You've been appointed counsel, or you've had counsel, now Miss Manaldi. Before that was John West.
Yes, sir.
And if they fail, then that's their problem that they have to answer to me and the Bar Association, and their license gets risked. But accusing me of stripping you due process rights, the most important thing was to have competent counsel. If they are both competent counsel, if they fail for whatever reason, you don't blame the judge.
Yes, sir.
Okay? That's the way that should be. Miss Manaldi had been appointed, who's a fine lawyer as well. But you're asking what?
He has indicated to me that he wishes to have his case set for trial and to have another proceeding.
I don't want an attorney to see me.
You want to represent yourself?
Big red flag here, police car line. The defendant wants to go pro se. That means representing himself in court. Sounds empowering, right? But here's the reality. It almost never works out. Judges and legal experts often call this a fool's choice. Why? Because without knowing evidence rules, objections, and procedure, the defendant is stepping onto a battlefield blindfolded. Would you ever take on surgery without a doctor just because you don't trust doctors? Exactly.
Sir, I don't trust y'all to form counsel. Like, my rights have been violated continually over and over again. Like, I've requested trying to remove John West from my knives, and then he gives me evidence and nothing like that. I've been sitting in this trial for 2 years with medical issues.
How many times would you say Mr. West came to see you?
He comes to me one time to jail after my family to see me. He never came to see me at all.
Hold
He
on.
brought no finish.
Wait, hold on. How long were you in jail?
I had been in jail for about
1 year?
he came to see me for the first time. He came to see me up here, but he told me so that he could talk about it. So I haven't seen his nothing against me at all. I've been trying to come see you. And I requested hearings. My dad's called and the courtroom requested hearings to get motions out filed with him. I'm spending an hour and I have the right to be present in the courtroom. When I get part of due process, confirmation call got it.
That's not what that is. That's not what I have written a lot of articles on the Constitution. And it's not a debate on the Constitution.
John West did inform me that he became aware of a conflict because he was a co-defendant in the case, so that also might be a reason why.
When was John West appointed, though?
He's appointed to me in June of 2023.
Let's go. We're going on 2 years. He's only talked to you one time?
One time.
How did you get appointed?
Yeah, she's been on.
Well, how did? Okay, yeah. Well, the thing, what is bothering me is why I wasn't told that he had only been. He had only for 2 years. He's only seen him one.
And there it is, bombshell bomb. The defendant has been sitting in jail for 2 years, and his attorney has only visited once. That's not just bad, it's potentially malpractice. Defense attorneys are obligated to meet, strategize, and prepare their client. Imagine waiting 700 plus days and not even knowing what evidence is stacked against you. It's true, this could fuel a strong appeal later on.
Why?
There was an issue with co-defendants. Well,
I think, but
I'm not sure how.
that doesn't stop somebody from representing. I mean, if they don't see him, they're not representing.
Well, as a co-defendant judge, he can't legally talk to us.
Oh, yeah, but somebody can walk up to me and tell me about it. I mean, that's a problem with y'all, but I mean, he's only been seen one time in 2 years by law.
I just know evidence against me. That's all I see.
And nobody's, well,
Judge, it's not quite. I don't even have. It's not quite.
I don't-
Marvin Lewis as his attorney as well. He had Marvin Lewis as his attorney.
did you ever see Marvin Lewis?
There's never signs for me to be.
He's never, that doesn't mean whether if you're unable to hire somebody,
Yes, sir.
we don't wait for you to sign, we get you lawyers so that they can talk to you, and they're supposed to communicate.
No,
If they're not,
talks. Sorry.
we can't
can't
talk. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, but it needs to get to me, nothing's getting to me. and presented to me, but so Marvin Lewis was representing you, he never called? That didn't happen on my watch normally. Yeah. So,
I've been trying to address this. It just feels like it's all happens to me. Like, trying to prove my innocence, trying to fight my case. Like,
Judge, also, it looks like Mr. Lewis had his case when he got the 252nd. Somehow the case ended up over here. I'm not quite sure why. But I was,
you in the 257 again?
they're out there with you this whole time.
No, I don't think so. I think for some reason it started off in the 257, which is probably where a problem began and never got unfixed.
There's 4 co-defendants. We had 3 of them over, I think. Probably moved it over to do with the others. Not sure. I have all 4. Let out 2 of
How
them.
long have you been representing?
2 stars.
She's good about it. Yeah.
I appreciate talking. When you go in here,
How do you realize that
You want a trial, right?
yes, sir.
She's able to represent you, but you'd probably go to trial if you requested me to appoint somebody off the trial docket wheels.
I'm like,
They're all competent lawyers. She would take probably a long time because she's one of the defenders, and they have a ton of cases that are all lined up for trial.
just don't want to have to go through all the ways. Like, I'll be familiar with by myself on this.
Here's what you're gonna have to do is fill out today, right here before you leave, your indigent form. Yes, I declare you indigent, which I'm sure I will. And I'm gonna appoint a lawyer immediately to represent you for trial. And we will put it on the trial docket, right? You understand? I'll fill that out. And that's what you want. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Courtroom tension spikes here. The defendant has been burned so badly by his lawyers that he'd rather risk trial alone. But the judge pushes back, reminding him of the old saying, "A man who represents himself has a fool for a client." Brutal, but true. Still, he blamed the defendant for losing faith when 3 lawyers barely showed up.
Now, when I turn those, anybody else don't trust me, appoint counsel. I appreciate
Let me ask you, have you ever represented yourself in trial?
I haven't got a chance to get wrong. These lawyers, I've been done so wrong. It's like, I appreciate y'all concern. I can do, not trying to do the type of way. I just, I would take a chance on myself.
Do you know how long that decision is? It's long. I mean, I've only practiced law for 45 years, since 1979.
Sir, I appreciate y'all.
Hold on. You speak over me, that's not right. Okay, no, you just explain to me. I've done this for 45 years. And it's true. Someone who represents themselves has a fool for a client. That's that was an adage that came up way before I was born. Because it doesn't change. People who are trained in the practice of law are more confident. You are not aware of the rules of evidence. And you're going to be held to them. And if you don't follow the rules of evidence, then you are punished in the trial. When I say punished, you're trying to get things done, and if the court says that's not the way it's done, I'm not allowing it, then you lose opportunities to prevail in the trial. You don't need that. You use that as a law. And you got the Code of Criminal Procedure. The penal code, you're charged with penal code violations. People went to law school for that. Now, some lawyers, unfortunately, it's like at every profession. Some people, and some give everybody else a bad name. But by and large, the people who practice in this court do a fine job. That sounds like it is aberration. What is happening? There's no way that you shouldn't have been discussed and gone over this. That doesn't mean that the Bar Association has failed you to those. And that's just the way it is. You don't say, I'm sick, I had a bad doctor, I'm not gonna go get fixed, or I have a disease that if I don't get help, I'll die. I'm just gonna die. That doesn't make any sense. What I'm gonna do is send somebody over to you, you decide after you talk to them first, okay? Because truly, it's, something should have been told to me that they never came to talk to you. And here's what we're going to do: is I'm going to have a hearing with those and find out why that happened. And I'm going to ask you to be present because these are people who work on my behalf when I appoint them. And if they're failing, then they're going to be answerable to this court and the bar association, as well as to you.
I would probably agree with just it over. I've been able to obtain the evidence for myself. Or anything.
That's incredible. I don't understand. There's nobody who has not discussed evidence against you with anyone in 2 years.
The judge is visibly stunned here. And honestly, so should we be. 2 years behind bars without even seeing the state's evidence. That's like fighting in the dark. This moment sets up a possible turning point. Not only could the lawyers face bar complaints, the prosecution's case might take a hit if the defense argues a violation of the Sixth Amendment right to counsel.
That's preposterous. That shouldn't have happened. Okay. And I'm going to have a hearing on that. Here. But fill that out. And, I will, I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to let her work with you on this today on anything you need answered and help him out on just some of the basic discovery if you want it from the who's the prosecutor on this, please? Can you provide some discovery to the attorney to get to the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he says he's provided it to them. Why they didn't get to you and discuss with you is crazy. Sure. All right, well, fill out that, sir. That means help him out. Sure.